The Complete Dark Psychology Guide: How to Spot a Liar Before They Destroy You. By the time you finish watching this video, you will never be blindsided by a liar again. Because the signs were always there. In the words they chose, the movements they made, the emotions they performed. Most people miss them not because they are not smart enough, but because nobody ever taught them what to look for. That changes right now. Welcome. In this video I am going to walk you through the complete psychology of deception. We are covering everything: body language, word patterns, behavioral tells, and emotional lies. By the end you will have a complete system for reading people accurately. Stay until the end, because the section on emotional lying is the one most people never see coming. And it is the most dangerous form of deception there is. Let us get into it. The psychology of why people lie. Before we talk about detection, we need to understand motivation. Because understanding why someone lies tells you what kind of liar they are. And that changes how you respond. Type 1, the protective liar. Lying to avoid hurting you, or to avoid consequences they fear. This is the most common type, and the most forgivable. But it is still deception, and it still damages trust when discovered. Type 2, the strategic liar. Lying for specific gain: financial, social, relational. These lies are calculated, prepared, and consistent. They are harder to catch because they have been rehearsed. Type 3, the pathological liar. Lying compulsively, often without clear benefit, sometimes without full awareness. These are the most confusing because the lying continues even when it serves no purpose. Type 4, the narcissistic liar. Lying to maintain image, control narrative, and preserve superiority. These lies are the most damaging because they are combined with manipulation and gaslighting. Knowing which type you are dealing with changes your entire approach. A protective liar needs safety to tell the truth. A narcissistic liar needs to be removed from your life entirely. Body language tells what the body cannot hide. The body and the brain are not always working together. The brain constructs the lie, the body responds to the stress of telling it. And that stress response is almost impossible to fully control. Here are the most reliable physical tells psychology has identified. The freeze response: when asked something unexpected, liars often go unnaturally still. The brain is working so hard on constructing the response that it temporarily shuts down physical movement. Normal conversation involves constant micro-movement. Its absence is suspicious. Self-soothing gestures, touching the face, neck, or hair during specific answers. These are unconscious comfort responses the body uses to manage the stress of deception. Watch for them specifically when you ask direct questions. Feet direction: the face can be controlled, feet almost never are. Feet pointing away from you during a conversation about a specific topic means the body wants to be anywhere but in that conversation. Micro-expressions: flashes of genuine emotion that appear for less than a quarter of a second before the controlled expression takes over. Fear, contempt, anger, guilt, they all appear before the mask goes back on. You will not catch these consciously at first, but your gut registers them. That flash of something wrong you felt, that was a micro-expression your conscious mind missed. Blink rate changes: stress affects blink rate dramatically, either significantly increasing or decreasing it from the person's baseline. The key word there is baseline. You need to know how they normally behave to detect the deviation. Word patterns: how language reveals deception. Language is where most people focus when trying to detect lies. But they focus on the wrong things. They look for nervousness, hesitation, contradiction. Psychology says the most reliable linguistic tells are far more subtle. Distancing language: when someone uses labels instead of names. That woman, that situation, what happened, instead of Sarah, the argument, what I did. Psychological distance in language mirrors psychological distance from the truth. The more they distance themselves linguistically, the closer you are to a lie. Certainty over claiming: the repeated insistence on honesty. I swear, honestly, I would never, on everything I love. Truthful statements do not need sworn testimony attached. The more someone insists on their honesty, the more carefully you should examine what they are insisting about. Answering questions with questions: a classic and almost universal deception response. Why would I do that? What makes you think that happened? Who told you that? This simultaneously buys time, gathers intelligence about what you know, and avoids a direct answer. It is instinctive, which makes it one of the most reliable tells. Verb tense inconsistency. Watch for sudden shifts between past and present tense within the same story. When someone slips into present tense while recounting a supposedly past event, they are often constructing rather than recalling. Over-detailing, providing significantly more information than was requested. Innocent people answer questions, guilty people give context, background, justification, and witness testimony nobody asked for. The over-detail is preemptive defense. Behavioral patterns. What they do over time. Single interactions can be misread, behavioral patterns over time almost never can. This section is about what to watch across days, weeks, and months. Story consistency. Genuine memories have natural inconsistencies. We remember the emotional core of events accurately, but details shift over time. Lies are constructed with specific details that must be maintained exactly. A liar's story is often more consistent than a truth teller's in the short term. But over months, the maintained details become a burden, and they begin to shift. Circling back to the same topic unprompted, guilty people often return to the subject of their lie. Testing the temperature, checking if you are still suspicious. If someone keeps bringing a topic back into conversation without you raising it, pay attention. Behavior changes around specific people or topics, not general anxiety. Specific discomfort around specific subjects while remaining completely relaxed in all other areas is far more informative than general nervousness. Their reaction to being caught in small lies. This is the most important behavioral pattern. Someone who responds to small discovered lies with genuine remorse and behavioral change is fundamentally different from someone who responds with a better constructed lie. The response to being caught tells you everything about the pattern you are dealing with. Emotional lying. The most dangerous form of deception. This is the section most people never learn about, and it is the most important. Emotional lying is when someone performs an emotional state they do not genuinely feel, to manipulate your empathy, your guilt, or your fear of causing pain. It is the hardest to detect because it targets your most human instincts. Here is how to identify it. Timing of the emotion. Genuine emotions arrive before or simultaneous with words. Performed emotions arrive exactly when they are most useful. Real distress does not wait for the right moment, it arrives uninvited. The emotion disappears too quickly, genuine emotional states linger. Performed emotions turn off the moment the audience changes or the goal is achieved. Watch what happens to their distress the second they think you have stopped watching. Proportional to audience size. Genuine pain is consistent regardless of who is watching. Performed pain is louder and more elaborate when the audience is larger. They reference it repeatedly as evidence. Genuine emotion does not need to be resubmitted. If someone brings up their past distress as evidence in future arguments, the emotion was recorded, not felt. Your body knows the difference between being moved and being played. There is a physical sensation of genuine empathy, a warmth and a pull toward the person, and a different physical sensation when you are being emotionally manipulated. A kind of uncomfortable tug, a cognitive dissonance, a this does not feel right. That second sensation is not cynicism. It is discernment. Learn to trust it. You now have a complete system for detecting deception. Body language, word patterns, behavioral tells, and emotional lies. But I want to leave you with the most important thing psychology says about all of this. The goal is not to become someone who trusts nobody. Hypervigilance is its own kind of prison. The goal is to become someone whose trust is informed, not automatic. Someone who extends trust based on consistent behavior over time, rather than charm in a single moment. The people in your life who deserve your trust will make it easy to give. They will be consistent when it is inconvenient, honest when it costs them something, and accountable when they get it wrong. Those people exist, and they are worth finding. But you can only find them clearly when you can see everyone else clearly first. If this video helped you, follow this channel. Every day we post psychology that protects your mind, your relationships, and your peace. Share this with someone who needs it. And I will see you in the next one.